City man suspected of stabbing his girlfriend can be suppressed, according to a ruling from the Iowa Supreme Court. Today, the court ruled 39-year-old Farron Starr, while under arrest, wasn't afforded his right to call a family member as required by Iowa law. Starr has pleaded not guilty to 6 criminal charges, including willful injury causing serious injury and second-degree burglary, following a stabbing in a home in the Leeds neighborhood back on November 7, 2022. Prosecutors say Starr stabbed his girlfriend in the leg with a knife, then ran away when confronted at a local convenience store. Prosecutors say Starr then stole 2 firearms from a home a few blocks away. He was on the run for 30 hours before police tracked him down outside a local hospital and arrested him. At issue is police questioning of Starr after his arrest. Court documents say a detective read Starr his Miranda rights, but Starr never signed an acknowledgement of those rights because he asked to call his father first. Documents say the questioning continued as detectives tried to find out where Starr stashed the guns he allegedly stole after the stabbing. Prosecutors argued there's an exception to the law requiring a person under arrest be permitted to call a family member or lawyer without unnecessary delay after arrival at the place of detention. Prosecutors claim a delay was necessary because of the threat to public safety posed by the missing firearms. The Supreme Court disagreed with the public safety exception and ruled statements Starr made to police may be suppressed.